Imagine holding a book you can't read. Not because you don't know the language, but because no one knows the language. This isn't a riddle. It's the story of the Voynich Manuscript, arguably the most mysterious book in the world. Picture this. It S 1912. An antique book dealer named Wilfred Voynich is digging through a collection of old manuscripts at a Jesuit college near Rome. Among the dusty volumes, he finds something extraordinary. A book, about 240 pages of smooth vellum, filled with elegant, flowing script, unlike any he's ever seen. And the illustrations? They're just as bizarre. This isn't your average medieval text. The Voynich Manuscript is a puzzle that has stumped the brightest minds for over a century. Let's take a closer look at what makes it so baffling. First, there's the text itself. It's written from left to right in a unique, unknown alphabet. Some letters look familiar, a bit like Latin or early European scripts, but others are completely alien. Linguists have analyzed it, trying to find patterns, word frequencies, and structures that might give a clue. They've compared it to countless known languages, both living and dead. The result? Nothing. It seems to follow some sort of linguistic rules, suggesting it's not just random gibberish. But what those rules are remains a total mystery. Then we have the illustrations, which are just as strange and beautiful as the script. They're hand-drawn and colored with a limited palette of greens, browns, blues, and reds. The manuscript is generally divided into several sections based on these drawings. The first is the herbal section. It's filled with drawings of plants. But here's the twist. Botanists have tried to identify them, and almost none match any known species on Earth. Some have familiar parts of root here, a leaf there, but they're combined in ways that are completely fantastical. Are these plants from another world, a lost continent, or just the product of a very creative imagination? Next, we enter the astronomical section. Here you'll find intricate circular diagrams that look like astrological charts or cosmological maps. There are suns, moons, and stars arranged in complex patterns, often with nymphs or figures emerging from them. But again, these celestial charts don't correspond to any known constellations or astronomical events. It's like looking at a map of a sky we've never seen. What were they trying to chart? Things get even weirder in the biological or balneological section. These pages show a series of small, naked figures, mostly female, bathing in pools or elaborate networks of interconnected tubs and pipes. The liquid they're bathing in is often a strange green or blue color. The plumbing systems look bizarrely complex, almost organic. What do these scenes represent? Are they depicting a real-world spa treatment, an alchemical process, or some kind of religious or spiritual ritual? The figures themselves are simply drawn, almost cartoonish, but their purpose is completely opaque. And there's more. We have a pharmaceutical section with drawings of what look like apothecary jars, labeled with snippets of the unreadable text and images of plant parts. And finally, the last section is pure text, page after page of that mysterious script, with no illustrations to guide us. It feels like a recipe book or an index, but without knowing the language, it's just a beautiful, frustrating wall of code. Where did this enigmatic book come from? For a long time, its origins were as mysterious as its contents. But modern science has given us at least one solid piece of evidence. Radiocarbon dating was performed on the vellum pages, and the results were stunning. The manuscript was created sometime between 1404 and 1438, placing it firmly in the early 15th century. This debunked theories that it was a modern forgery by Voynich himself. This book is a genuine medieval artifact. Knowing its age, however, only deepens the mystery. The 15th century was a time of great change, the dawn of the Renaissance. It was a world of alchemists, early scientists, and secret societies. Could the Voynich Manuscript be a product of this environment? The list of people who have tried to crack this code is incredible. During World War II, the same brilliant cryptographers who broke the German and Japanese codes at Bletchley Park took a shot at the Voynich Manuscript. They failed. In the decades since, professional linguists, amateur sleuths, and even sophisticated AI algorithms have been thrown at the problem. They've all failed. This complete and utter failure to decipher it has led to a wild explosion of theories. What could this book possibly be? One of the simplest theories is that it's a hoax. Perhaps a clever 15th century con artist created an elaborate, nonsensical book to sell to a wealthy, gullible patron. The Duke of Milan, for instance, was known to be interested in alchemy and esoteric texts. A beautiful, unreadable book would have been the ultimate prize. The problem with the hoax theory is the sheer complexity. The text follows subtle statistical patterns that are difficult to fake, especially before the invention of modern computers. It would have been an incredibly sophisticated and labor-intensive fraud. Another popular theory is that it's a cipher, a known language that has been systematically encoded. Maybe it's Latin, or an early German dialect, or even Hebrew, disguised by a complex substitution key. People have tried every code-breaking technique imaginable, but the text resists them all. It is a code. It's one of unprecedented complexity for its time. Then we get into the more exotic theories. Some believe the manuscript was written in a lost, natural language, a language that was spoken by a small group of people, and then died out, leaving this book as its only surviving record. Could it be the last remnant of a forgotten culture? Others have suggested it's a work of glossolalia, or speaking in tongues, where someone in a religious trance wrote down what they believed were divine words. Of course, we can't ignore the truly out there ideas. Some fringe theorists propose that the manuscript is of alien origin, a star chart and biological guide left behind by extraterrestrial visitors. The strange plants and celestial diagrams certainly fueled this kind of speculation. While there's zero evidence for this, it shows just how far people's imaginations will go when faced with a true unknown. A more grounded, but still fascinating theory is that it's a guide to esoteric knowledge, perhaps related to alchemy, women's health, or a forgotten spiritual tradition. The drawings of plants, baths, and astronomical events could all be symbolic representations of a complex philosophical or medical system that was deliberately kept secret. In an era of religious persecution, encoding such knowledge might have been a matter of life and death. Today, the Voynich Manuscript rests safely behind glass at Yale University's Beinecke Rare Book and Manuscript Library. It's one of their most requested items, attracting scholars and curious minds from all over the world. The entire book has been digitized, so anyone online can take a crack at solving its secrets, yet it remains silent. The Voynich Manuscript is more than just an old book. It's a mirror reflecting our own desire to understand, to find meaning and order in the universe. It challenges our assumption that everything can eventually be known and cataloged. It's a testament to the fact that even in our hyper-connected, information-rich age, there are still profound mysteries left to solve. It's a 600-year-old question mark written in an alphabet of secrets. A secret alchemical text? Let me know your theories down in the comments. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the unknown. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next adventure into history's greatest mysteries. See you next time.